Close your eyes for a moment, breathe in deeply, feel the air enter your lungs, feel life itself moving through you. Every morning is a beginning, a chance to write a new page in the book of your life. But the words you speak to yourself at the start will decide the story you live. Today I share with you 12 powerful things to tell yourself every morning. Not as mere sentences but as seeds. Seeds that, if nurtured every day, will grow into strength, clarity, and peace. 1. I am grateful for this breath, this moment, this day. Gratitude is the foundation of strength. Without it, even victory feels empty. 2. I have the power to choose my thoughts. No matter what happens outside, the inside is mine to master. 3. I will act, not react. The world can shake you only if you let it. 4. I am stronger than my excuses. Excuses are soft pillows. They make you comfortable, but they put you to sleep. 5. I will focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is a trap. Progress is freedom. 6. I am calm. I am centered. I am in control. The warrior does not shout, he breathes. 7. I will turn obstacles into lessons. A stone in the path is not the end, it is the beginning of a climb. 8. I am disciplined in mind, body, and spirit. Without discipline, talent is wasted. 9. I will be present in every moment. Life is never somewhere else if it is here. 10. I choose courage over comfort. Comfort zones are cages, courage breaks them. 11. I will serve others with my actions. Strength without service is only ego. 12. I am becoming the person I am meant to be. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today.
When you wake up in the morning, the world is not yet loud. The demands of others have not yet reached your ears. The problems of yesterday have not yet fully returned to your mind. In this space, before you rush, there is a sacred moment. It is here, in this fragile silence, that the tone of your entire day is decided. But most people miss it. They open their eyes, grab their phone, and let the noise of the world pour into them before they have even spoken to themselves. If you can learn to protect this moment, to begin your morning with stillness, you will begin to master not just your day, but your life. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the alignment of the mind, body, and spirit. It is the deliberate choice to pause, to breathe, and to be fully aware that you are alive. When you start your day with stillness, you are telling yourself, I will not be rushed by the world. I will move on my terms. This is not laziness. It is control. The warrior who stands still before the battle is not doing nothing, he is preparing. Imagine you are holding a glass of muddy water. If you shake it constantly, the water remains cloudy and unclear. But if you place it down and leave it undisturbed, the dirt settles and the water becomes clear. Your mind is that glass. If you wake up and immediately shake it with thoughts, tasks, and distractions, you remain cloudy all day. But if you give yourself a few moments of undisturbed stillness, your mind becomes clear and your actions become precise. When you begin your morning with stillness, you become aware of your breathing. This is important because breath is life. Without control over your breath, you cannot control your mind. Without control over your mind, you cannot control your day. Start with 3 deep breaths in through the nose, slow and steady, filling the lungs completely. And out through the mouth, releasing any heaviness. As you breathe, notice the sensations in your body. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw relax. This is how you tell your nervous system, we are safe, we are in control. From this state of calm, you can choose your first thoughts. And this is where your power lies. Most people think their first thoughts are automatic, that they have no control over them. This is not true. Just as a musician chooses the first note of a song, you can choose the first note of your day. You can decide to think, I am grateful for this breath, this moment, this day. You can decide to think, today, I move with purpose. When you begin your morning with stillness, you give yourself the space to make this choice deliberately instead of letting old habits decide for you. Some will say, I do not have time for this. But the truth is, you do not have time not to do this. A few minutes of stillness in the morning will save you hours of wasted effort later. Without it, you will find yourself distracted, reacting to problems instead of calmly responding to them. You will mistake urgency for importance. But when you begin with stillness, you see clearly what needs to be done, and you do it with precision. In stillness, you also begin to hear your inner voice. This is the voice that is often drowned out by the noise of the world. It speaks not from fear, but from wisdom. It reminds you of what truly matters, of the path you wish to walk, of the person you wish to be. If you give yourself a few quiet minutes each morning to listen, you will notice that this voice is calm but firm. It will not shout for your attention, you must lean in to hear it. And when you do, it will guide you better than any to-do list. The habit of beginning with stillness is not built in one morning. At first, your mind will resist. It will try to pull you into your phone, into your inbox, into your old routines. But if you stay consistent, if you train yourself to pause each morning, this will become your natural state. And when it does, you will notice something powerful. The world no longer controls your mood. A delayed bus will not shake you. A rude comment will not pierce you. A challenge will not overwhelm you. You will move through the day like a calm river, not rushing, but unstoppable. Stillness is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is the preparation of the mind before the action of the body. Begin your day with it, and you will see that every decision, every conversation, every challenge becomes easier to navigate. Because when the mind is still, the path ahead is clear. And when the path is clear, you can walk it with confidence, no matter where it leads. The mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers, others into weeds. But what grows in your garden is not decided by chance, it is decided by what you choose to plant, and what you choose to remove. Most people live as if they have no control over this process. They believe thoughts arrive and disappear on their own, like clouds in the sky. They think, this is just the way I am. But this is not true. You have the power to choose your thoughts, and when you truly understand this, your life changes completely. Imagine a person walking through a market. Every seller is shouting for attention, waving different things in front of them. Some offer sweet fruits, others offer rotten ones. If you had a choice, you would not fill your basket with the rotten ones. You would select carefully. Yet in the mind, many people accept every thought that appears, even if it is poison. They carry it with them, they let it shape their day, and eventually it shapes their life. The first step to mastering your mind is to become a careful buyer, to see each thought clearly and decide, do I want to keep this or let it go? The power to choose your thoughts does not mean you will never have negative ones. A gardener cannot stop weeds from appearing, but a wise gardener does not water them. When a thought of fear comes, you can say, this is not the seed I want to grow. When a thought of doubt appears, you can choose not to give it your energy. Instead, you can replace it with something that serves you, a thought of possibility, of courage, of gratitude. This is why your mornings are so important. The mind is most open at the beginning of the day. If you start by feeding it thoughts of stress, anger, or worry, you set the tone for everything that follows. But if you begin with thoughts that are strong, clear, and empowering, you carry that strength with you into every moment. Saying to yourself, I have the power to choose my thoughts, is like taking the wheel of your own ship instead of drifting on the ocean without direction. Some may say, but my thoughts come too quickly. I cannot control them. That is only because you have not trained yourself to see them. A bird may fly across the sky, but you can choose whether to let it land and build a nest. In the same way, a thought may enter your mind, but you can choose whether to keep it. This is not instant mastery. It is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. You can start simply. When you notice a thought, pause for a moment, ask yourself, is this helping me or harming me? Is this making me stronger or weaker? If it is helpful, keep it. If it is harmful, let it pass. At first, this will feel like work, but over time it becomes natural, and then you will notice something powerful. Life does not feel so heavy anymore. You will no longer be carried away by every fear, every insult, every worry. You will be the one steering. Choosing your thoughts is not just about removing the negative. It is also about deliberately planting the positive. If you want courage, think of moments you were brave. If you want peace, think of times you felt calm. If you want determination, imagine yourself achieving what you once thought impossible. These images and words are not fantasies, they are tools. Just as an athlete trains the body through repetition, you train the mind through repeated, chosen thoughts. When you understand this power, You stop being a prisoner of circumstance. You may not control what happens outside of you, but you can always control what happens inside. A storm may rage around you, but your thoughts can remain steady like the mountain. And when your mind is steady, your actions follow. You make better decisions. You speak with more clarity. You face challenges without being consumed by them. There will still be days when the weeds appear faster than the flowers. That is natural, but you will not panic because you know the process. You know that you can plant again tomorrow. You know that each thought you choose is a step toward the person you want to become. And with each day of practice, you find that you no longer live at the mercy of your thoughts live in service to you. So when you wake in the morning and say, I have the power to choose my thoughts, do not treat it as a nice idea. Treat it as a responsibility, because the garden of your mind will grow something, whether you tend to it or not, and the quality of your life will always be the harvest of the thoughts you choose to plant. Life will place you in situations you cannot predict. People will speak in ways you did not expect. Plans will change without warning. Challenges will appear without asking for your permission. In these moments, you have a choice to react or to act. The difference is small in sound but great in meaning. Reaction is the reflex of an untrained mind. Action is the decision of a disciplined one. When you react, you give your power away. Someone says something unkind, and without thinking, you let anger decide your words. Something delays your plans, and without reflection, you let frustration control your mood. A setback appears, and without pause, you give fear permission to guide your next step. Reaction is fast, but it is blind. It is like striking a target without aiming. It may release your energy, but it does not move you closer to victory. To act is different. To act is to pause. It is to create a small space between what happens and what you choose to do about it. In this space, you are free. In this space, you can ask, what is the best choice here? What will serve my long-term goal, not just my short-term feeling? This space is where wisdom lives. Without it, you are a slave to impulse. With it, you become the master of yourself. Imagine a still pond. Drop a stone into it, and the ripples move outward in perfect circles. But if the water is already agitated, the stone disappears into chaos. Your mind is the pond. When it is calm, your actions are precise, measured, and effective. When it is restless, everything you do becomes clouded by emotion. To act instead of react, you must learn to keep your pond still, even when stones are thrown into it. This does not mean suppressing emotions. Emotions are natural. They are messengers. Anger may tell you that something is unjust. Fear may warn you of danger. But the role of a warrior is not to let the messenger lead the army. You receive the message, you understand it, and then you decide the best course of action. You use the information, but you do not let it use you. Acting instead of reacting also means thinking beyond the moment. Many battles are lost not because of weakness, but because of impatience. A small victory in the heat of the moment can lead to a greater loss later. When you act, you think in terms of the whole campaign, not just the next move. You ask yourself, if I do this now, will it bring me closer to the person I want to be, or will it trap me in the same cycle I wish to break? This is why discipline is so important. The undisciplined mind cannot act, it can only react. If you have trained yourself to pause before speaking, to breathe before deciding, to observe before moving, then you carry this habit into every part of life. Someone insults you, you pause, and choose whether this battle is worth your energy. A challenge appears, you breathe and look for the opportunity hidden inside it. Your plans are disrupted, you adapt instead of collapsing into frustration. To act is to live intentionally. You are not a leaf carried wherever the wind blows. You are the tree that stands firm while the wind moves around you. People will notice this. They will see that you are not easily provoked, not easily shaken. And in a world that moves so quickly, this calm strength is rare. It is also contagious. When you act instead of react, you give others permission to slow down, to think, to choose. Of course, this is not always easy. There will be moments when you are tired, when your patience is thin, when the old habit of reacting feels too strong to resist. Do not see these moments as failure, see them as training. Every time you choose to act instead of react, you are strengthening your inner muscle. Every time you fail and then reflect, you are sharpening your awareness for the next challenge. This is how mastery is built, not in a single decision, but in thousands of small ones made over time. When you wake in the morning and tell yourself, I will act, not react, you are setting a standard for the day. You are saying, I will not be controlled by the chaos outside of me. I will not be a puppet pulled by strings I did not choose. I will move with intention. I will move with purpose. The events of the day will come, the voices of others will speak, the unexpected will arrive, but you will remain steady. And in that steadiness, you will find a power that no reaction could ever give you. Every person has dreams. Every person has goals, but between the desire and the achievement lies a barrier that is invisible, yet powerful. This barrier is not always the weight of the world, the lack of resources, or the obstacles placed by others. Most often, it is the quiet voice inside that says, not today, not now, not yet. This voice is the maker of excuses, and if you do not master it, it will master you. Excuses are not always loud. They often arrive dressed as logic, as reason, as self-protection. I am too tired today. I will start when the conditions are better. I am not ready yet. On the surface, they sound harmless, even wise. But beneath them is fear of discomfort, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. Excuses are comfort disguised as truth, and comfort is the enemy of growth. When you tell yourself, I am stronger than my excuses, you are not denying that they will come. They will, every day. They will whisper to you when you wake. They will follow you to your work. They will wait for you when the task becomes hard. You cannot avoid their presence, but you can choose your response. You can choose to act even while they speak. Think of the body in training. Muscles do not grow in comfort. They grow under tension, under resistance, under weight. The mind is the same. Each time you feel the pull of an excuse and still move forward, you are training your mental muscle. You are teaching yourself that action is possible even when desire is absent. This is one of the highest forms of discipline, to move when you do not feel like moving. Excuses often grow strongest at the edge of progress. When you are about to push past your limits, the mind will resist with more creativity than you thought possible. It will suddenly remember 100 reasons why now is not the right time. This is a signal not to stop, but to continue. It means you are on the threshold of growth. If you stop here, you strengthen the excuse. If you move forward, you weaken it. Many people wait for motivation before they act. But motivation is like the weather, it changes without warning. If you depend on it, you will remain at the mercy of its moods. Discipline is different. Discipline acts regardless of weather, regardless of mood. It acts because it is the chosen path, not because it is the easy one. To say, I am stronger than my excuses, is to say, I will not wait for the perfect time. I will make this time perfect by acting now. Excuses will often present themselves as protection. They will say, rest, you need it. And sometimes rest is indeed necessary. But there is a difference between rest for recovery and rest for avoidance. One builds you, the other weakens you. The key is honesty with yourself. Ask, am I resting because I truly need to, or because I am afraid to begin? This question alone can strip the disguise from an excuse and reveal it for what it is. It is important to remember that the world does not reward excuses. It rewards results. Life will not give you extra credit for the reasons you did not act. The mountain will not grow shorter because you had a difficult morning. The task will not complete itself because you felt uninspired. In the end, the work is either done or not done. And this is why you must be stronger than your excuses, because the world moves forward with or without you. Every time you overcome an excuse, you build a small victory inside yourself. Over weeks, months, and years, these victories become a habit. The voice that once said, not today, grows quieter. The identity of a person who follows through becomes stronger. And eventually, you no longer need to fight your excuses with the same effort because you have proven to yourself, again and again, that you are stronger. When you rise in the morning and say, I am stronger than my excuses, speak it not as a wish, but as a truth. Stand tall, breathe deeply, feel the weight of the words, and then prove them with action. You do not have to conquer the world today, only the voice that tells you not to try. That is the first battle. And if you win it each morning, you will find that the rest of the day becomes easier. Perfection is a tempting illusion. It tells you that if you wait long enough, if you prepare just a little more, if you get every detail exactly right, then you will be ready. It promises certainty before you begin, but perfection is not the friend of growth. It is the cage that keeps you from starting at all. Progress is different. Progress accepts that the first step will be imperfect, that mistakes will be made, that the path will be uneven. Progress says, move now and improve as you go. It understands that mastery is built in layers, not in a single flawless moment. When you tell yourself, I will focus on progress, not perfection, you are freeing yourself from the paralysis that keeps so many people standing still. Perfection is often fear in disguise, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear that you are not good enough. It whispers, wait until you're ready. Knowing that day may never come, progress has no such fear. It is humble enough to begin before it feels ready. It knows that readiness is not a condition you reach before starting. It is something you grow into by starting. Think of a child learning to walk. They do not wait until their balance is perfect before they take the first step. They take it, they stumble, they fall, they get up again, and each attempt, no matter how clumsy, builds strength and coordination. If the child waited for perfection, they would never walk at all. The same is true for you. Every imperfect attempt moves you forward in a way that endless planning never will. Focusing on progress also protects your energy. Perfection demands that everything is flawless before you are satisfied. This is exhausting and often impossible. Progress allows you to measure your success in smaller, achievable steps. It lets you see how far you've come, instead of constantly reminding you how far you still have to go. When you value progress, you can celebrate movement even if it is small, and small movements, repeated daily, create great transformations over time. There is a danger in chasing perfection that many do not see. Perfection turns your attention inward in an unhelpful way. You become so concerned with avoiding mistakes that you lose sight of the larger purpose. A warrior in training who refuses to strike until every movement is flawless will never strike at all. A craftsman who waits for the perfect conditions will never create. The pursuit of perfection keeps your sword in its sheath. Progress demands you draw it, swing it, and learn from each strike. This does not mean you abandon high standards. Progress is not an excuse for carelessness. It is the understanding that high standards are reached through repeated action, not through endless hesitation. The best musicians were once beginners who played wrong notes. The best speakers once stumbled over their words. The strongest fighters once missed their target. They reached excellence because they were willing to be imperfect in the beginning. When you focus on progress, you also become more adaptable. Perfection is rigid. It insists that the path must be exactly as planned. Progress is flexible. It accepts that the road may change, that adjustments will be needed, that learning requires adaptation. In life, conditions will never be perfect. There will always be obstacles, distractions, and unforeseen challenges. If you wait for perfection, you will always be waiting. If you commit to progress, you will always be moving. The mind finds peace in progress. Perfection creates constant dissatisfaction because no matter how much you achieve, it can always find a flaw. Progress, on the other hand, lets you see improvement as a victory. It allows you to look at yesterday's self and say, I have grown. Even if the change is small, it is real, and real change is what shapes your future. When you rise in the morning and say, I will focus on progress, not perfection, you are making a promise to yourself. You are saying, I will not let the fear of imperfection keep me from moving forward. I will take the next step and the one after that. I will measure myself not by flawless results, but by consistent effort. One day, you will look back and see that the path was never perfect, but it was yours. It was made of small victories, small corrections, and small steps forward. And together, they built something far more valuable than perfection. They built a life that kept moving, kept learning, and kept growing. The storms of life are not always outside. Often, the strongest storms are the ones that rage within the racing thoughts, the quickened breath, the tightening in the chest. These are the storms that can cloud your judgment, scatter your focus, and pull you away from the path you have chosen. But in every storm, there is a center, a place untouched by the winds, a place of stillness. When you say, I am calm, I am centered, I am in control, you are choosing to live from that center. Calm is not weakness. It is not the absence of feeling. It is strength held steady. It is the ability to move through chaos without letting chaos move through you. A river can be strong without rushing. A mountain can be powerful without shouting. In the same way, you can be unshakable without being rigid, calm without being passive. Calm allows you to see clearly, to decide wisely, and to act with precision. To be centered is to know where you stand. It means that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned with your values, not pulled in different directions by every passing event. Without a center, you are like a leaf in the wind moved by forces you cannot control, never staying in one place long enough to choose your direction. With a center, you become like a rooted tree able to sway when the wind blows, yet always returning to your place of strength. Control begins within. It is not about controlling every situation or every person. That is impossible, and the attempt will only lead to frustration. Control means governing your own mind and actions, no matter the circumstances. It is the discipline to pause before speaking, to breathe before deciding, to remain steady before moving. When you master yourself, you no longer depend on the outside world to create your peace. This is why calm, centered control is so powerful. In difficult moments, people often give away their control without realizing it. They let another person's words dictate their mood. They let unexpected events dictate their decisions. They let fear dictate their next move. But if you can remain calm, you keep your control. No one can take it from you unless you hand it over. There is a saying in martial training, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. When you are calm, your movements become smooth, deliberate, and effective. In this state, you waste no energy on panic or confusion. You see the situation for what it is, not what your emotions are trying to make it. From here, you can choose the best action, and often, the best action is not the one that comes from urgency, but from clarity. To live in this state requires practice. You cannot wait for the storm to come before learning how to stand in it. You must train your calm daily, even in moments of peace. Sit in stillness, breathe deeply. Notice your thoughts without chasing them. Return to your center when distractions try to pull you away. This is how you prepare for the days when the wind is strong and the noise is loud. There will be moments when calm feels far away. Times when frustration rises quickly, when fear knocks hard, when anger is just beneath the surface. In these moments, your practice matters most. It may only take a single breath in slowly, out slowly to return to your center. It may only take the quiet reminder, I am calm, I am centered, I am in control. These words are not magic, but they are a trigger for the mind to remember its training. The world often values speed, reaction, and constant movement. But true mastery values the opposite, the ability to move slowly when everything around you is rushing, to think clearly when others are clouded, to remain steady when others are shaking. Calmness is not the absence of power, it is the perfect use of it. When you rise each morning and say, I am calm, I am centered, I am in control, you are building a foundation for the day. You are setting the standard for how you will meet whatever comes. You are telling yourself, the world may change, but my center will not. Challenges may appear, but my calm will remain. I will not be driven by fear, anger, or panic. I will move with intention, and I will keep my control. And when you live this way, You do not just survive the storms, you walk through them as if they were only passing winds, because they are. And you are still here, standing in the center, unshaken. Obstacles are not a sign that you are on the wrong path. They are part of the path. Every journey worth taking will test you. Every mountain worth climbing will have steep faces, loose rocks, and sudden storms. To see an obstacle and think, "This means I should turn back," is to misunderstand its purpose. The obstacle is not there to stop you, it is there to shape you. When you tell yourself, "I will turn obstacles into lessons," you are making a decision about how you will meet difficulty. You are deciding that nothing which stands in your way will be wasted. Every challenge will teach you something if you are willing to learn. Even failure can be a teacher. Even delay can be a teacher. Even pain can be a teacher. The only true waste is the challenge you meet with resistance but no reflection. Many people see an obstacle only as a wall. But if you step closer, you may see it is also a mirror. It reflects your weaknesses, your fears, your habits. When you face a challenge, you learn where you are strong and where you must grow. A heavy weight in training shows you which muscles are undeveloped. In the same way, a problem in life shows you which parts of your character still need strengthening. This is why obstacles are valuable. They give you the feedback that comfort never will. Comfort tells you that you are fine as you are. Challenge tells you that you can be more. Without obstacles, there is no growth. Without resistance, there is no strength. A river becomes powerful, not because the water flows without obstruction, but because it learns to move around, over, and through what stands in its way. Turning obstacles into lessons requires a shift in perspective. When difficulty comes, the untrained mind asks, "Why is this happening to me?" The trained mind asks, "What is this here to teach me?" The first question places you in the role of a victim. The second places you in the role of a student. And the student always finds a way forward, because the lesson is part of the way forward. Sometimes the lesson is patience. The obstacle forces you to slow down, to wait, to prepare more carefully before continuing. Sometimes the lesson is resilience, learning to keep moving, even when the path is rough and the destination far. Sometimes the lesson is creativity, finding a new route, a new method, a new approach when the old one no longer works. In this way, every obstacle adds to your skill, your wisdom, and your readiness for what comes next. It is important to remember that not every lesson is learned easily. Some obstacles will frustrate you. Some will exhaust you. Some will leave you wondering if the struggle is worth it. But when you look back, you will see that the moments you thought were breaking you were the moments that were building you. The strength you have today was forged in the difficulties of yesterday. This is why the mindset matters more than the obstacle itself. Two people can face the same challenge. One will see it as the end, the other as the beginning. One will stop, the other will grow. The difference is not in the size of the obstacle, but in the way it is met. The one who chooses to turn it into a lesson will carry its value for a lifetime. When you wake and say, "I will turn obstacles into lessons," you are making a quiet but powerful promise. You are promising that nothing will be wasted. You are promising that you will not run from difficulty, but will meet it with open eyes. You are promising that you will use each challenge to sharpen your mind, to strengthen your body, and to deepen your spirit. And so the next time something stands in your way, pause before you push against it. Ask, "What is this here to teach me?" Listen for the answer. Then move forward, maybe around it, maybe over it, maybe straight through it, but always forward, carrying the lesson with you. In this way, your obstacles become your teachers. Your teachers become your strength, and your strength becomes the proof that no wall, no challenge, no hardship can stop the one who chooses to learn from everything. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. Many people have good intentions. They want to be stronger, wiser, healthier, more fulfilled. But without discipline, those intentions remain only thoughts. Discipline is the force that takes what you say you will do and turns it into something you have done. It is not a moment of effort, it is a way of living. To be disciplined in mind, body, and spirit is to live with balance and unity. If you train the body but neglect the mind, you may become strong in form but weak in focus. If you train the mind but neglect the body, your thoughts may be sharp, but your energy will fade. If you strengthen both mind and body but neglect the spirit, you may have skill and stamina, but no purpose to guide them. Discipline in all three creates harmony. Discipline of the mind begins with awareness. You notice your thoughts, you choose which to keep, and you direct your attention to what matters. The undisciplined mind jumps from distraction to distraction, wasting its power. The disciplined mind is like a beam of light. It focuses on the target until it reaches it. This kind of mental discipline comes from practice, reading, learning, reflecting, meditating, and training yourself to finish what you start, even when the mind resists. Discipline of the body is respect for the vessel that carries you through life. You strengthen it through movement, you nourish it with good food, you care for it with rest. The undisciplined body seeks comfort before growth, ease before challenge. But the disciplined body understands that strength comes from resistance. You train even when you do not feel like it. You move even when the weather, the mood, or the schedule is not perfect. This is not punishment, it is preparation. A strong body supports a strong mind. Discipline of the spirit is the deepest layer. It is the commitment to live by your values, even when it is difficult. It is holding to honesty when lies would be easier. It is choosing kindness when anger is tempting. It is following your purpose when distractions call you in other directions. Spiritual discipline gives meaning to the strength of the body and the sharpness of the mind. Without it, you may win many battles but lose the war within yourself. Being disciplined in mind, body, and spirit is not about perfection. It is about consistency. You will miss days. You will fall short. You will face moments when you do not act as you intended. Discipline is not destroyed by these moments, it is tested by them. The true measure is whether you return to the path quickly, without excuses. The disciplined person does not wait for the perfect day to restart. They restart now. There is a certain peace that comes with discipline. When you live with it, you no longer feel at the mercy of chance. You know that whatever comes, you have trained yourself to respond with strength and clarity. You trust yourself because you have kept your own promises again and again. That trust is powerful. It removes the constant doubt of "can I?" and replaces it with the certainty of "I will." Discipline also frees you from being ruled by your emotions. Feelings will change. Some days you will be full of energy. Other days you will be tired. Some days your mind will be focused. Other days it will wander. If you depend on feelings, your actions will be inconsistent. If you depend on discipline, your actions will be steady. You will act not because you feel like it, but because it is the right thing to do. When you wake each morning and say, "I am disciplined in mind, body, and spirit," you are declaring that you will live with intention in all areas of yourself. You will feed your mind with knowledge and clarity. You will strengthen your body with movement and care. You will guide your spirit with purpose and values. You will not train one while neglecting the others, because you understand they are connected. Each depends on the strength of the others. Over time, this unity of discipline creates a different kind of strength. It is not just the strength to lift, to think, or to endure. It is the strength to live fully, to walk through the world without fear of being broken by it. You know that no matter what happens, your mind, body, and spirit are prepared, and that preparation is freedom. Life is made of moments, but most people are not in them. The body is here, but the mind is somewhere else, replaying the past, predicting the future, drifting into places that do not exist anymore or do not exist yet. In this way, entire days are lived without ever truly being lived. The hours pass, but they are not fully experienced. To be present in every moment is to reclaim your life from this quiet theft. When you say, "I will be present in every moment," you are choosing to give your full attention to the life that is happening right now. You are saying that you will not live only in memory or anticipation, but in direct experience. This presence is not something you find outside yourself. It is something you create inside yourself by choosing where your attention rests. The mind will resist at first. It will try to pull you into yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's worries. But the truth is, you cannot change the past and you cannot live the future. You can only act in the present, and the quality of your action depends entirely on how present you are while taking it. A distracted mind cannot act with full power. A wandering mind cannot see clearly what is in front of it. Presence is a discipline. It is the practice of bringing yourself back again and again to what is here now. If you are walking, feel each step. If you are speaking with someone, truly listen. If you are eating, taste each bite. If you are training, focus on the movement, the breath, the form. The more you train yourself to be here, the less you waste your energy on what is not here. Being present does not mean ignoring the past or future. It means carrying the lessons of the past without living inside it, and preparing for the future without losing today to it. The past gives you wisdom, the future gives you direction, but the present gives you action. And only action creates change. There is power in giving your full attention to a moment. It sharpens your perception. You notice details you would have missed if you were elsewhere in your mind: the tone of someone's voice, the way your body feels, the subtle shifts in your surroundings. This awareness allows you to respond with precision instead of reacting blindly. It makes your decisions stronger because they are based on what is truly happening, not on what you imagine or remember. Presence also deepens your relationships. When you are with someone and you are fully there, they feel it. Your eyes are on them, not your phone. Your mind is with them, not with your to-do list. In a world where most people are only half listening, full presence is a rare and powerful gift. It tells the other person, you matter. This moment matters. Being present in every moment also changes the way you experience time. When you are distracted, days feel short and blurry. You look back and wonder where they went. When you are present, time slows. You feel the weight of each minute, the depth of each interaction. You are not rushing to get to the next thing. You are living this thing fully. And when you live fully, even simple moments become meaningful. There will be times when the present moment is uncomfortable. Pain, difficulty, and uncertainty can make you want to escape into distraction. But these moments are often the most important ones to stay in. If you leave them too quickly, you miss their lessons. If you stay, you can face them fully, work through them, and come out stronger. Avoiding the moment does not remove the challenge, it only delays your growth. When you wake in the morning and say, I will be present in every moment, you are setting an intention to live your day with awareness, clarity, and purpose. You are promising that you will not let your life pass by unnoticed. You will give each task your focus, each person your attention, each breath your awareness. One day you will look back on your life. You will not remember every detail, but you will remember how it felt to live it. If you have trained yourself to be present, those memories will be vivid, full, and real. You will know that you did not simply exist, you were here, truly here, for every moment you were given. Comfort is tempting. It whispers to you that you have done enough, that you can rest here, that there is no need to push further. It is warm, familiar, and easy, but comfort is also a cage. It keeps you where you are and slowly convinces you that this is where you should stay. The walls are soft, but they are still walls. When you say, I choose courage over comfort, you are declaring that you will not let this cage hold you. You are choosing to step into places that make you uneasy, into challenges that stretch you, into situations where you may not feel ready. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Choosing courage means you are willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of growth. You are willing to try when failure is possible. You are willing to speak when silence feels safer. You are willing to change when staying the same would be easier. Every act of courage pulls you beyond the limits of your current self and into the possibility of who you could become. Comfort keeps you repeating what you already know. Courage takes you into the unknown, where new skills, new opportunities, and new strengths are found. If you want to live a life that is full, you cannot spend it hiding in familiar corners. You must walk into the open space where you can be seen, challenged, and tested. The moment of choice often feels small: a decision to take one more step, to say yes to an opportunity, to begin a conversation you have been avoiding. But these small moments shape the direction of your life. Each time you choose courage, you expand the size of your world. Each time you choose comfort, you shrink it. Courage requires trust, not in the outcome, but in yourself. You cannot control what will happen, but you can control how you will face it. When you trust that you can handle discomfort, you stop avoiding it. You understand that fear is not a sign to retreat, but a signal that you are moving towards something important. It is easy to mistake comfort for happiness. Comfort can make you feel good in the short term, but it rarely brings deep satisfaction. True fulfillment comes from knowing you did something hard, that you stood where you once thought you could not stand, that you kept going when quitting was easier. That satisfaction is born from courage. Choosing courage does not mean living recklessly. It does not mean saying yes to every danger or challenge without thought. It means understanding when fear is protecting you from harm, and when it is only protecting you from growth. The disciplined mind learns to tell the difference. Over time, courage builds resilience. Each time you step out of comfort, you discover you can survive more than you imagined. You adapt, you learn, you grow. The fear that once stopped you loses its power because you have walked through it before. What used to seem impossible becomes simply the next step. There will be days when comfort calls to you loudly. It will offer excuses, not today, not now, you're not ready. But readiness is rarely found before action. Most growth happens in the doing, not in the waiting. Courage understands this and moves anyway. When you wake each morning and say, "I choose courage over comfort," you are setting the tone for your day. You are reminding yourself that you will not be ruled by fear, laziness, or hesitation. You will take the harder path when it is the right path. You will face discomfort with steady breath and open eyes. You will not let the softness of comfort dull the edge of your spirit. One day, you will look back and see the moments when you could have played it safe but didn't. Those will be the moments you are proud of. They will be the moments that shaped you, the moments that gave you a life worth remembering.